And we are live. Welcome everyone. It's a Wednesday afternoon. It's 2:30 p.m. and you're watching Innovation Fika with Donny. Live from Stockholm, Techniking in one at KTH. Everybody out there, you're welcome to come here as well. Of course, keeping a distance and staying safe. But for now, we are back online again. Live every Wednesday afternoon, online via LinkedIn. Trying now with a new platform called Univid to see if we can get everything on the same platform and see if we can get more people online as well. So anyway, Donny here every Wednesday. Check this out. Follow the new page, Innovation Fika with Donny, on LinkedIn as well for updates on future sessions and also to see all of the past sessions. They'll be uploaded there as I get the page up to speed. Enough about that. But then today on my live show, I have a good friend and alumni and successful business person and also future successful startup founder, Mr. John Murray.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the studio. I'll actually add your name here. Let's see. We have Mr. John Murray there, co-founder of ProTendering.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So as we always start with welcoming people into the show, we always start with you describing to us very briefly what ProTendering is and what you do, and then we'll talk about your journey after that. But let's start with ProTendering. What is ProTendering? What does it do? What do you do?
ProTendering is a tool to support purchasers to handle a lot of demands professionally and to weigh demands, functional demands, and risk parameters towards cost in purchasing projects.
That sounds like it's mainly aimed to larger corporations that do big procurement purchasing.
Yes, small and large companies, but it's business to business concept too.
Yeah. And when you say, okay, let's back up and say, well, how did you come up with the idea? I mean, when did you think we have to make this startup?
I and my co-founder Peter Sandberg, we have had very long procurement careers.
Yes.
In Vattenfall and Peter in Statoil.
Reasonably large corporations.
Yes, reasonably large. And we have during these years we have experienced the same kind of challenges and problems, and we have been lacking a good tool. So elbow grease, Excel, and database is tools that I have used, and Peter has done the same. So we've really found this idea from own experience, a lack of
it's your own need there actually.
Our own need. So we sat down the 4th of April 2019 and said, how hard could it be? We just need to find some programmers and then we can do the tool that we have already always lacked.
Exactly. And I love that. I love that's the typical startup thing. How hard can it be? That is the main motto, right?
Yeah. But of course, we understood it was would be a lot of challenges. But really, how hard could it be? That is sort of the why not at least try?
Exactly. And these these words of wisdom here when it comes to I think everybody in the startup world has said either how hard can it be, and also let's give it a try.
Yeah.
And I think one fascinating thing I've spent some time with you and the team as in your progress and everything. And I think it's so fascinating because the story when you met Peter and you started talking, your co-founder, and you started talking to each other and you'd both been working with procurement but never sort of worked together in any way. And then when you sat down together and you said, well, I do this and this and this. And he says, well, I do that as well. Yeah. And you realize that you more or less have the same mindset of how to solve the problem. But there was no sort of common tool out there. So that was the 4th of April.
2019.
And then what happened then? What after?
Then we got started. So first we found a couple of programmers.
Yes.
And we started to work with them. And in June, you were contacted by my wife who said, my husband and I has an idea. it's about this. She showed you short sentence that I've written, and you said, "Oh, this is so boring and simple, so it could be a real success."
Exactly, and that's the thing. Thank you for that quote. I mean, it looked everything that's the business to business secret is, the more boring it looks, the more successful it has the potential of becoming.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's one of the reasons I liked it from the start as well. It was a typical thing that it felt like a lot of people have this problem. And I also liked the approach that you had where you said, we're not going to build a big, expensive tool that can do everything.
Yep.
We're going to hit this
Yes.
part where we feel has, the maximum pain, but still very contained.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do that really, really, really well.
Mm.
And that was the start of ProTendering.
Yeah, that was the start
Yeah.
of ProTendering.
Yeah.
And then in the autumn, we applied to become part of the KTH Innovation program and was accepted, which was a great benefit, fantastic. We wouldn't have been where we are without the support from a professional incubator like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really true. It's we would have missed too many.
Yeah.
Much. I'm not sure that we would have finished.
I think that, okay, in our relationship, as we were working together, I think that you went through most of the, the pitfalls and the problems and the everything that a normal startup does. And I think that one of the key benefits, if I can sort of speak for ourselves here, one of the key benefits for a program like this is as well that, we know that you will be there, but just by acting as a coach, I was your business coach,
yes.
and also sort of helping you and pointing out that, this is normal, this is going to happen, don't forget this. I think that is, one of the big sort of benefits, that you're not alone, because it's you and 14 other teams that were working together. And I think that makes a big difference when you realize that I'm not alone, everybody else seems to have these problems as well. It's normal, kind of thing. And I know we had our discussions.
Yes. We have been challenged.
Yeah, I mean, one of my job is to both encourage and also challenge you in the process going forward. Anything special that you feel that, I mean, because you and Peter and many people in the team were, you're senior, experienced business people. But what are sort of the key learnings when you sort of started over again with a whole new idea?
First of all, what I would say that key learning is we had a deep understanding why we needed why this tool would be needed, but we also understood that the perfect tool won't succeed. We have had the mindset that formalizing into company and the sales part is more than half of the success. I think too many people focus on the technology.
Yes.
I think that this is the perfect solution. It might be, but if no one knows about it, of course, it's not a solution.
Yeah.
And that leads sort of into the theme of today. That is how to plan and structure your progress. And part of the KTH innovation value for us has been the readiness level process, where you really get a structure how to plan your progress, and not to forget anything. And also that's also a tool that will challenge some things in our thinking.
I think for anybody who watched the session with my colleague Gustav Notander before Christmas, but it was I think 3 or 4 sessions ago, we went through the basics of the KTH Innovation Readiness Level tool. And that's something that you can check out on previous sessions. And here today, then, we have an actual real life case
example.
And for anybody who wants to know more about that, I've just added the website there for the KTH Innovation Readiness Level.com. You can go there, you can check out the tool. And it's in a very brief explanation, it's a early stage business development tool that both for planning and for measuring progress in early stage startup or idea development. And I know that you didn't just sort of kind of use it. I mean, you dove into the whole thing and really got into it, right?
Yeah, we took the whole coaching and methodology process really serious. We were serious in our startup from the beginning. and we knew that we have a deep knowledge in what we wanted to do, domain knowledge.
Yes.
But it's the first time we start a startup. So of course there's a lot of things that we need help with. So we really took both the tool and the coaching seriously. We didn't accept every challenge. We were challenged a lot.
Yes.
And we rethought our thoughts. And sometimes we accepted the challenge and changed our mind. Sometimes we said, no, we think this is better, even though we've been challenged, but we have taken the challenge, but we stay with our own beliefs. But we really took it serious, and we saw that it would help us, and we used it as a monthly tool in our coaching sessions, and we used that tool for planning the nearly first year. The only tool we used in the first year. And then we moved into other tools and processes for planning. But it was absolutely fundamental. And it's very good. We were quite immature as a team in planning. So that tool was the perfect start for us. And then we grew out of it in the end of, which you should do.
Of course.
And went into other tools.
Yeah. I mean, it is an early stage tool. And I think that what was so interesting when you used it, because yes, we used it as a basis for our coaching sessions, because it's 6 dimensions, and it's an easy way to discuss quite abstract, subjects, team development, business development, intellectual property, technical development, and one is getting to a point where we speak the same language, and we know where we are in every single occasion as well. So that's one thing, and I use it for all of my teams for like monthly check-ins, and it's a great way of checking it. But I also know that you used it, as you just said, based on the plan ahead. Then a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months ahead. You also broke it down into actionable action points.
Yeah, definitely. We had
dependencies and the whole. Yeah,
exactly. We have a team divided in programming, marketing, business development, management, sort of the 3 main areas.
Yeah.
So we use that tool to have development tasks for all these 3 groups on quite detailed level, and we actually added a 7th perspective, which is marketing, which is, we believe for us it was very, very good. So we used it. Had rows exactly from each month and week how far we expected to come to develop in the different areas.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I'm going to share my screen here to show people what it actually.
And we'll use a lot of colors. Yeah, that's a good one.
There we go.
There you can see the development, the inner circle, the blue one. That was when we started a KTH Innovation, and then we added for each month, every second month, something like that. We summarized how far we had developed, and you can see that the development has been quite even, but it went.
But this is actually your development. We can see here in like that, and from September 2020 through to March 2021, and it's actually fascinating to see how you can track the development over time. And I can, if we scroll down here, we can just to show.
Can you see the tasks?
Yes, how it actually broke down into concrete tasks as well.
And then we use colors: green for completed. Yellow for risk of not completing within the planned time schedule, and red delayed. We have missed the task. So we could follow where we were at in the monthly. We could see, okay, now we're risking of being delayed. Now we are delayed.
Did you use? This of course. I'd say also you need to be in a team. In agreement on that. No, we're going to use this tool, and this is something that we did. You spend a lot of time talking about how you were going to work with tools? I mean, did you in agreement?
Yes, definitely. We started with this one, and in the beginning, this was the only tool we had. So it was, of course, we started with that one.
Yeah.
And later we discussed. We felt that we needed more details, and we needed another progress. So we went to. I've forgotten the name of the tool, the one you recommended.
The one I recommended.
Yeah, we can put sort of notes. That
Trello.
Yeah, Trello,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Then we went into Trello and used that for a while,
Yes.
and it worked quite well. And then later we went into Jira,
Yeah.
and we also structured with we really went into Scrum, which was completely unknown for me, of course. I'm not from the procurement or the programming world, so and we had help from very competent programmers. So we use that both for marketing and programming, and we still use Jira.
Yeah.
And for marketing, we have now moved into HubSpot for the sales activities.
Yeah. And
so we've changed to
but that's also, I think, is fascinating how you, I mean, you as a team, you sort of started with one tool and then you sort of use that to the maximum, and then when you sort of evolved and matured out of that, then you went into the next tool.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that you use HubSpot, you use it in the same way. It's like the full package, everything.
Fully in. But we are serious. So we have, it's a cost and it's a time investment to use tools.
Yeah.
But it's been a clear decision that we think it's worthwhile using them. And we have discussed, we haven't had a lot of discussions when, if and when to use which tool.
Yes.
So it's not been, okay, now we change. It's been months of discussions before we have gone into the next phase and next tool.
So now you use HubSpot for the marketing and the newsletters sales. And everything, that kind of thing. And then you use, and I think you even have built your website on HubSpot. Connected to that. And then you use Jira for programming and tasks still when it comes to Where are you in your development now? You've released?
We have released, so we have our first version out on the market just recently. So now we are in the phase of developing our tool, and we have a very structured. So we have open beta 0.3. We are working on 0.4, and we're planning 0.5, and we will release typically quarterly a new version, and then I guess that in a year's time we'll take the next real big step. And we're also looking into new. In the future, we'll develop similar tools for other segments based on the same logic.
ProTendering.com. Check out the tool, and if you are how big an organization, what size organization is the perfect customer for you? I mean, how big do you have to be, or how small can you be, or what?
I would say that a company of 25 employees with someone doing structured purchasing, and up to global companies.
And then this tool, what if I am that person, what will this tool help me do?
It will help you structure what you want. If you buy a car privately, you go around to try a lot of cars. You don't buy the cheapest one. You say, we need the size, how many children do you have? Do you need, how old are they? So you have a lot of demands. And mostly you don't really structure. You go around and then you pick one. But the more complex, the more structured you need to be in handling the demands. And mostly you want something that is more expensive than you can afford. That's normal. So then you have to say, okay, what values are worthwhile paying for, and what are too expensive? And then you have different alternatives. So you can compare them, where how best bang for the buck. Not the most buck, not the most bang, but the reasonable quality to reasonable cost. That is what you will.
This is something you should. This is something you should develop for private persons in the future. For any family. Any family with kids that need to buy whatever, any decision that they're making.
If you have a man and a wife,
Yeah,
you will have
yeah.
different priorities. So this is also a way to help organizations actually take care of all different stakeholders' demands, put them into a structured methodology so that you can agree on this is the right choice. Yes, I don't get what I 100% what I want. No one gets that. So you rarely get exactly what you want, but you can optimize so that most people get as much as possible out of the deal you go into.
See, that's a perfect family. This is a perfect family planning tool there. And you can also, then I know that you also work with demands that you have to have.
Yes.
And demands that would be good to have.
Yes.
And then demands that don't.
Yeah,
matter.
exactly. When you say functional demands, a functional demand is typically if you buy a chair, it shall have 4 legs. You can decide that, but it should also be comfortable.
Yes,
that's a functional demand, and that you have to evaluate. You can't put that in figures. You have to find other ways of evaluating them. So
it's fascinating. I mean, we could probably spend a whole session just talking about this. How many demands in a big procurement process? Just so we understand.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
So it's not just
mostly people don't know how many demands they put. The purchasing side rarely know how many demands they have because they are hidden in documents, Word, PDF files, documents.
Yeah.
There could be hundreds of pages. And actually, we've got quite a big interest from the sales side because the sales side has it gets these documents and they can't find the demands. Oh, it's very time-consuming to find the demands.
But again, it comes back to what you said. If you just say, "Hey, I want to buy a new chair," it might sound very simple just to say that, but in that you've hidden a number of demands to fit with what, to be where, to be how comfortable, and the whole everything comes out there.
I can take one example. I used to work at Vattenfall. When we moved into the new office in Solna, I supported with the evaluation of the furniture purchase for that one. And then you had office furniture, you had storage, you had sofas, curtains, so many things in a building, and we had 45 suppliers bidding for this. And of course, you would have, if you had pick the optimal, you would have taken one chair from that company, a desk from that one, etc. But that's not how you can do it. You needed one supplier, and we had 5 or 6 strong stakeholder groups. It was the ergonomics group. It was of course the finance. The marketing side, branding, etc. And they all wrote down the demands, and then we agreed in advance how much of the evaluation should be put on quality issues, on etc. So in the end, no one got their first choice supplier. Everyone was completely in agreement that the right supplier was chosen, which is very, very unusual because everybody understood the priorities and everybody had written their own demands and they had evaluated them. So they were in agreement that their priorities was taken care of. That is what we can help with.
As I said, this is fascinating stuff, and we could probably spend the rest of the day talking about this, but I will actually. You actually said something there, which is so interesting, and which also leads me into the end of the session when we do the guest always leaves us with some good tips and tricks. And if I add on the John Murray's top 3 tips, you actually said something there. You said that you had, and I'm just coming back to the planning part here. You said that the key to success in that project was that everybody had agreed upon the priorities that you'd made, and that is actually also the core of planning as a group.
Yeah, definitely.
Is agreeing upon the priorities together, because then we all know what we're going to do. Right, ending of the session with John Murray from ProTendering. We have John Murray's top 3 tips for all of us when we are looking at planning and following up progress. Number 1 is find and develop tools that work for you.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What we said, as a group, as a team, you need to agree on how to plan and how to follow up.
Yeah.
And you need some sort of tool. It could be self-developed Excel sheet, or the readiness levels system, or any kind of planning. There are heaps of planning tools out there. So but you have to find a tool that works for you. If it's not working, it's useless. The best tool not used is useless.
Exactly. And it has to, as you said as well before, in the maturity stage that you are.
Yeah.
Some tools are better early stage. I think KTH Innovation Readiness Levels, super good for super early ideas. Later on, there are other tools that suit you better and that you evolve into. Thank you for that. Very good. Tip number 2. Find the tools and use them seriously.
Yeah. I sort of really already mentioned that. Use them seriously, and agree on them, and follow up on your progress. Use them. Find something that works, but use them. A poor tool, well used, will be much better than the perfect tool not used.
Thank you. Again, words of wisdom, but I will build on that. And I say so many times you see people spending time on finding the perfect tool, but then they still don't really use it.
No, exactly.
So, dive in, get your hands dirty, use it for all it's worth.
I have another, how hard can it be is one sort of mindset. Another one is good enough. For me, this is good enough. No, it's not. You rarely have it good, really good. You have it good enough.
Yeah. Good enough, so we all agree upon the level. Yes, indeed. And then, of course, tip number 3: listen to others, but decide for yourself.
We have been challenged during our journey, and we have welcomed the challenges. We're really taking them on board. We really welcomed the challenges, taking them seriously. Some challenges we have digested for quite a long while, and then accepted that, we were wrong in the beginning. Others said, no, we think we are more right. And not rarely have we been challenged with on the same issue or topic from different persons saying the opposite thing. And I say, okay, that one that's an input from saying the left, and that's an input saying right. Okay, what do we decide? In the middle or right? So you have to decide yourself what is relevant. And of course, you will do bad choices.
You always do, but I think that, yes, go on.
But every bad choice is easy to correct with a new good one. But not choosing, that's a choice that's...
Exactly. Not choosing is not the alternative.
Nope.
No. And I will just say again that is something that is so common as well when it comes to the startup world, is that you get confused because you meet all of these people that want to give you all of this different kind of advice. But don't forget, it's always your project. It's always your decision. And you have to make the decision, because nobody is going to make it for you.
And you have to live with your choices.
Yes.
You cannot live on other choices and blame them. That's not an option.
Indeed. Thank you, John, for wonderful words of wisdom, and thank you for a wonderful session. We're on the nose, 3 o'clock now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This will be recorded. It will be put online again. Join me next week for a new coffee break session, Innovation Fika. John Murray, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck with ProTendering.
Thanks.